Today I'm going to present an analysis of a medical cost data using Excel. The goal of this project is to gain insights into the health insurance cost by analyzing the factors like age, gender, smoking status, number of dependents, region, charges, etc. So I worked on a worth of analysis like using the Excel functions like average, median, pivot table, countable, histogram charts to extract the meaningful insights. Okay, so let's start with data understanding and cleaning. Before jumping into the analysis, let's understand the data set. It consists of the following columns, like we have the age of the insurance holder, then the gender, whether it's male, female, then BMI, the body mass index, indicating the weight relative to the height. Then we have children's, the number of dependents, smoker, whether they smoke or not, region, where the person lives in the US, northeast, southeast, the southwest, northwest, etc. Then we have a charges, the actual medical cost billed to the insurance. Okay, and yeah. So before starting our analysis, we clean the data by checking for the missing values, removing the duplicates, and converting the data types where the needed. Okay. Now start with the key insights from the analysis that we have drawn. So first we start with the statistical of medical charges, BMI and the age that we have find out the average, median and standard deviation. So basic statistics of these medical charges or BMI and age. We started by calculating the average, median, standard deviation of the charges, BMI and ages. These help us understand the general distributions of the data because the average age is like 39, average BMI is 30, whereas the average charges is like 13,279, where average median is 39 of age, BMI median of 30, where charges median is 93, whereas the standard deviation of a age is 14, and so on. And why it is important? Because it gives a quick idea of how costs are spread across the different individuals. Now let's start with our dashboard and start with a gender-based analysis that we have find out. So yeah. We compared the average medical charges gender wise, the average medical cost, and the BMI male and females. Okay. Uh, so a male had an average medical cost of a charge around 13,975, while females had a 12,570, whereas the average BMI for the male is 31 and average BMI for the female is 30. And the insight from this we get is the males tend to have the slightly higher BMI and the medical cost than the females. Now we have an impact of smoking on a cost. So we analyze how smoking affects the medical charges, and the average medical cost of a smoker was 32,550, whereas the average cost for non-smoker was 8,441, which clearly indicates that the smokers pay almost four times more than in medical bills than the non-smoker, and this shows the huge financial burden of the smoking on the healthcare cost. We analyze that. Now, let's start with the effect of dependencies on the medical cost. So, this is the dependence analysis. We use a area chart here. We analyze whether having and more children increases the medical cost or not. So, interestingly, as the number of children increases, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the total cost actually decrease. Here we are seeing when there is a 0, the high cost, and when there is children are increasing, there is a low cost. So people with a 0 children had a total cost of almost 7,96,413, while those who have 4 children had the 3,46,266, and the 5 has more lesser than that. So having more dependents does not necessarily mean higher medical cost. This could be due to the insurance coverage or other factors that may not be don't know right now for this data. Now, let's start with the geographical insights. Which region pays the most? Like we compared the medical cost of across the four US regions that we have in a data set. So we find out that the Southeast had the highest average cost of uh, 14,735, where Southwest had the lowest, that is 12,347, and we have a Northeast and Northwest also, which has an averagely good uh, pay on the medical cost. And the Southeast region has the highest healthcare cost, as we see, okay, and the Southwest has a lowest one. And then also we have this region-wise average BMI, where Southwest has a highest average BMI with respect to 33.36, and Northeast has the lowest uh, as lowest of a 29.17 average BMI as compared to the Southwest and the Northwest. And this suggests a potential link between the obesity rates and the medical expenses that we have, or that the data set we have from the analysis. After that, we find out the cost distribution analysis using the histogram. So we created a histogram to see how medical costs are distributed. Okay. So the most common bracket. So as we know, the histogram is used like it is like imagine each bar where it represents how many times a particular value occurs in a data, or the how often the different values occur in your data set. So that's why we use a histogram here. The most common bracket is this first one, which has a 353 people. Then second common bracket is which has a 275 people, and so on. So most people have a lower medical cost, but fewer cases with very high expenses increases the average. So that's the analysis we found on this cost distribution analysis. Yeah. After that, we have did this BMI classification like underweight, normal, and the overweight or obese. Okay, so we categorize the people based on the BMI. So underweight who has a less than 18.5, normal which is between 18.5 to 24.9, overweight 25 to between 29.9, and obese with the 30 plus. So a large number of beneficiaries fall into the overweight, as we have a 715 and obese categories, showing a potential risk for the health related issues. Okay, then we have a correlation between BMI and medical cost. So we created a scatter plot, because scatter plot is used to find out the relationship between the two variables, and that is the BMI and the medical cost. Surprisingly, we didn't find a strong correlation between them. Okay, this means BMI alone is not a strong predictor of a medical expenses, as we have seen from these scatter plots. Even though it falls in 20 to 40 BMI, but which has a uh, greater cost, but no such kind of relation, means there is not no only this reason, there are a lot of reasons rather than the BMI also. Now we have this interaction between smoking and region on medical costs. As we have the impact of smoking on cost, as we know, the who smoke, they have a more cost, and who is not smoke, like non-smoker, has a lesser cost. But we identified by using a region. So we have applied a slicer here for the region. So as per the northeast, it will change. As per the northwest, it will change. As you see, as well as the southeast, it will change. As well as the southwest, it will also change. So this is how we apply the slicer here to see the impact of smoking on the cost also. Okay, finally, we built an interactive uh, to dashboard to that includes the filters on the gender, region, and the smoker we have. Then pivot charts and bar graphs to visualize the trends, and we also use the slices for easy filtering. So this dashboard allows stakeholders to quickly explore the trends and make the data-driven decisions. So finally, we come to the part that is the what are the key takeaways from this dashboard or analysis. So smoking has the biggest impact on a medical cost. Smokers pay almost four times more than the non-smokers. This is the first. Second one, males have slightly higher medical cost and BMI than the females as compared to the females. Then third key takeaway is that Southeast region has the highest medical expenses and obesity rates. Okay, fourth one, no strong correlation between BMI and medical cost, meaning other factors influence the expenses as we saw in this scatter plot. And the last one, that dependents do not increase the medical cost as expected. Okay, so as a conclusion, this project gave us a valuable insights into what drives the medical cost. We use the Excel function like pivot table, charts, and dashboards to present a clear interactive analysis. Yeah? This analysis can help insurance companies and healthcare providers understand the cost patterns and make the better and informed decisions from this data from this analysis.